Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today, we are looking at Godsforge from Atlas Games. It plays 2 to 4 players and plays in 20 to 40 minutes, possibly faster. This is a simultaneous card action, dice rolling, tableau building dueling game that evokes other dueling games such as Magic the Gathering. Now what sets this game apart are 2 things. You roll and re-roll dice in order to get the elements you need to summon your cards, and all gameplay is simultaneous. So with more than 2 players, you attack the player to your left while simultaneously defending against the player to your right. Each turn, you roll dice, use them to summon a card, either a permanent creation or a one-off spell, and then simultaneously attack and defend using their abilities. Now whoever's left standing at the end of the game wins. What I like, the gameplay is fast. Just about every step in this game is simultaneous, and the simultaneous attacking can make this a game that'll give you that magic dueling fix in a relatively short period of time. The game also has some really interesting stylized art, particularly the artwork for the creations. Now the limited color palette that highlights only a few colors and is otherwise just black and white line art is visually appealing, and even the geometric art of the spell cards, while simple, is nice, and it makes it easy to tell at a glance whether a card is a spell. And while the dice rolling does create some randomness, the game does give you some nice clever ways to deal with the die rolls, including the ability to add lower dice together, having wild cards, and using Veilstones, a currency you get in the game, to adjust die values. Points to consider. The game does have that each of the die and cost values represent elements, such as 2 being fire, 5 being earth, 2 odd numbers being a shadow, but apart from some kind of hard to read symbols behind the numbers themselves, the theme of these elements gets lost, and before long you'll find that you just refer to them as numbers. And in general, as you get into the game, you'll find that you lose a lot of the theme on the cards because you really just need the numbers and the effects to get by, especially in a game where you need to be quick. Also, you can run through the deck pretty quickly, especially at 4 players, because there aren't that many cards. So you'll see the cards cycle through repeatedly. It's the kind of game that's begging for a bit more content. And there's also a fair amount of pressure to put out a card every round. Now, while you can get some Veilstones for not being able to afford a card, that really usually means that you end up falling behind. And this is especially true because most played creations persist from round to round, so those who did play cards will be ahead of you, and it's hard to catch up from that position. And also recognize that the game's complexity goes up at 3 to 4 players because now you have to watch 2 tableaus, how well the player to your left can defend against you and how much the player to your right can attack you. So, in summary, it's a fast, simultaneously playing dueling card game with only a little bit more complexity that accommodates up to 4 players. It has good-looking art, so even though some of the thematic aspects of the game can quickly get lost, and it has good ways to modify die rolls, even though it can become hard to catch up once you've fallen behind. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel.